Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, it is it. We got all the gear in the van. I've got a sort I've kind of found homes for everything. I've got a sort for everything. We're going to go over what kit I got, where I got it from, how much I paid for it, and where it's going to live in the van. I didn't think I would have enough room for everything, but I believe the shelving that I've bought is actually bigger than my old shelving I had in the old van. And I haven't got as much kit either, so I've actually got enough room. Everything is in. There's a few little niggly bits that I've got to sort out, keeping things in place and stuff like that, but all will become apparent when I show you. Nothing's set in stone yet. It got thrown in there yesterday when I was at home, and I was kind of like, right, we've got to do this video. I thought, I don't fancy having my van wide open, digging gear out, filming it outside the front of the house. Like, we've got a communal car park, so everyone walking past you and seeing everything you got. So I'm going up to see Dan up the farm today, well now, so I'm going to film it up there, away from prying eyes as such. I don't want everyone in the street seeing what's inside my van if I don't have to. Not that it matters, I'm showing gazillions of people on the internet, but you know what I mean, the opportunist people that are around the local area. So when I get over there, we'll yeah, I'll give you a look and we'll go through everything. Right, where do we start? It's looking like a van that's ready for action. So there's a few little niggles. Let's walk around and show you in the side door. Everything kind of has a home. We're getting there. Don't know where to start. Free mask. Right, let's start with the paint scheme. Loads of people have asked about the paint scheme. I bought my own flight case and my own 100ml bottles. I ended up, so to buy Lecturer Hydrofan paint scheme, it used to be about 500 quid for a smart repair scheme. They're now 830 off of eBay, I believe. They're on average around that price for a full scheme now. I managed to win a full size Bodyshop paint scheme off of eBay. I won that for 400 quid, I believe, and 50 quid to have it posted on a pallet. All 1 litre tinters, some were half litres, but the majority are 1 litres. Most of them full or just under, and loads of brand new tinters. So that was an absolute bargain. And it also came with a box of colour chips. Let me show you. Right, I haven't secured these fully. They're wedged in and they're pretty tight. But I've got all the colour chips for all the vehicles in here. And they are pretty good. They need updating. I've spoke to a Lecturer rep, or Lecturer, however you pronounce it. I call it Lecturer. I'm hoping to be able to get some more updated chips. Whether that's going to happen or not, I don't know, but I'll contact them on Monday. So it cost me about 30 quid for the flight case. It was about 40 quid for 100 bottles. Don't need 100, I've got loads of spares. So in all, I'm looking at about 550 for my paint scheme, and bearing in mind I have got loads of overs, so I don't have to buy tinters for a while. I can carry on topping everything up that I've got. The racking, I think I went over it before. This bit of racking I got off of eBay. I won this bit for about 40 quid, I think. I'm recording on my phone, so I can't double check, but it was around 40 quid. I had to go to Enfield, pick that up. This piece of racking, I had to go West London, I believe. I think I give 60 quid for this piece of racking. It's all right. This is actually wider than my old racking, so I've actually got a bit more room. So where I was saying earlier, I didn't think I have enough room. Well, my crates didn't fit long ways in the old racking, so I can get more kit on this racking. So we give 60 quid for this piece, which is good. Obviously we built the wood there, and I changed the flooring to hold the compressor and the dryer. The compressor and dryer, I use the firm, I actually bought it through eBay, but you can use their website as well. Compressor and dryer I got off of eBay, same company that I bought from last time. Good warranty, they're good to deal with. It comes really quick as well. I believe we was just shy of 1600 quid for compressor and dryer. I kind of didn't want to scrimp on that. Loads of people, look, it's each to your own. Loads of people just run a compressor and get on with it. It's fine, that's up to you guys. I know the importance of having clean air and the difference it makes to your jobs. So I wanted a dryer again, and obviously I've got 3-stage filter system. So basically my little setup, I can wear an F-head mask if I want to. Never would do outside, but that's how clean the air is. Running auto drains, the dryers already come with an auto drain. We put our own auto drain like I showed before on that, and they vent out. They're drilled through down there, and they vent out the driver's rear wheel arch. So when they're running and on, you get a little psh out of the wheel arch, and it removes all the moisture. Gavin at Pinky's Blocks, I popped down to buy a mat off of him. He wouldn't take no money. Thank you very much, Gavin. Always supported the channel. If you need a kneeling block, a kneeling pad or some sanding blocks, I'll link him in the description. He always looks after us, and they're brilliant. Infrared lamps, couldn't find at the time, it's typical, it's always the way, couldn't find any second-hand ones to use. So I bought them brand new. I think they were from Marlow Paint Supplies, and again I ordered them off of eBay. I think they worked out about, they were either 130 each or 150 each, brand new, delivered. Need them no matter what. Before I start ploughing through everything that's in the boxes, I'll show you a couple of little things that I've done. Bought some little Karcher hose pipe holders off of eBay. I think they're about £5 each. I bought 3 of them. Bolted it to the racking. That's where my airline's going to go. Prevost airline, again, really good quality. They last really well. Bought that from Marlow Paint Supplies. That was off of eBay as well. I thought that was a great idea, hanging them up. I've screwed another one here to hold my extension leads. I've put 2 leads on this for the minute. I've got a 10 metre lead and a 30 metre lead. I'm going to put another one down here so I can put the, I don't use the 30 metre that often, so I'd like to hang it on the wall down there, and this 10 metre is the one I use regular. That leads onto the leads. I didn't make my leads up this time. I bought them second hand off of eBay. It was working out about 120 quid to make the leads that I wanted. I believe I give 20 quid for one, 30 quid for the other. Had to put some plugs on. This is 2.5mm flex, which is fine for your 10 metre. I thought it was fine for the 30 metre, but really you need 4mm flex. If you run thin extension leads with a compressor, on top of compressors you've got that black box. It actually burns them out if over time, if you don't use the right leads. It'll be fine for a while, but I might upgrade my big lead to a 4mm cable eventually, but to get us going, that's perfectly fine. Right, got some little magnets, what I use for my plastic sheeting. They are expensive now. Before I had a set I think I found my first set for 20 odd quid, and that was 20 magnets, I believe. They are 35 quid odd on eBay now. I bought these from AliExpress in China. I got 24 of them, worked out about 25 quid posted. This one you see hanging up here, this is for wing mirrors and stuff like that. You can unscrew it and the clamp opens and shuts. I think they're called a Power Tech one or something. Not cheap. That was about 25 quid, but it is kind of needed. You're gonna have them days where you got odds and sods where you've got to clamp it. They're just cheap magnetic fast mover gun holders. Amazon or eBay, I can't remember, but they were 25 each. They'll do the job. I've got to sort out some bungees or some way of strapping them up there so the guns don't fall off. My last van, I had a custom 8 gun holder. It was all one piece, and it was screwed to the back wall over there, and I just put one bungee across and the guns never fell out. It wasn't an issue. This I'm not sure of. We're going to work the kinks out on that lot. I need to make some kind of little box. This doesn't live here, obviously. Paint scheme I always keep in the front of the motor, and I take it in every night. Needs to be kept above 5 degrees. I had this lot on my racking on the old van in a little box, and it all fits snug. So I'm going to ask my mate Si if he's got some scrap wood, or we can knock something up for that. Yeah, that's that lot. Right. Pump up bottles. They are a fortune now. These used to be about 10-15 quid if you hunted around. Now they are on average 30 quid a bottle now. I couldn't believe it. I managed to buy, there was a reason why I got one random blue one. So I use these for solvent panel wipe, water-based panel wipe and water. I use deionised water for cleaning my base coat guns out, like my water-based guns. So I was hunting around, I couldn't believe it, but I managed to find the blue one for 20 quid, but that took a few days of hunting. You have to have solvent proof bottles because the seals just melt. These 2 white ones I found for 21 quid each. So they're absolutely extortionate now. And they never was. Everything's gone up. So yeah, got them, they're sorted. Solvent, water base and water. These little crates, a little plastic foldable crate, so I had them before. I bought them again. There's a little place where we live called Sam's Trade Centre. Just went in there and picked some up. So in this crate I have got my lacquer, my thinners, my hardeners, and what's this one? That is my fade out thinners. So I have 1 tub for all of that lot. These were bought from Multi-Mix himself. This one, my Spees Hecker was eBay. I think I got a bargain on that. That was 20 quid. They're normally 30 quid odd each elsewhere. Clear coat kit, I think still comes in about 100 odd quid. I use air dry plus hardener, but when it's hot I use standard, so I've got a standard as well in there. Some of the Multi-Mix panel wipe I believe is at the back. I've got their thinners, is that correct? Yeah, I've got their thinners and their panel wipe. Panel wipe's brilliant and their thinners obviously is good. What have we got over here? It'll be very difficult without ripping everything out. So this is my UV torch. So let's sort this out. My mate Gary said that I can buy his old UV lamp. This was his old spare one. I think he actually upgraded to a Tesla Pure one, and then he actually bought my one. This one's called a Specular UV. It's still got quite a big bulb set in it, and it's pretty decent. It's not like top end, but it still works and still dries very well. Basically, Gal said to me, just kiss cut lunch quick and have it. So that's an absolute bargain to still have UV technology, which I didn't plan on having. Okay, so in this one, this is for my primer and filler and stuff. So I used to use Evercoat Rage Ultra, and that's 60 odd quid a tub. Because we're on a tight budget, I've moved to Fantastic now, which I used to use before. I think it's made by U-Pol. Yeah, it is made by U-Pol. U-Pol Fantastic. You see it now. That was half the price. That was about 30 quid. So I've just got all the basics that I needed. I've got some dolphin glaze at the back. I believe that's about 12 quid, whatever it is. I've got some Evercoat Fibertech. This is fiberglass resin, I suppose you call it. It's like a fiberglass filler. I call it Bridger Gap. Press the Scuff stuff. I use that all the time. It's a matting agent. I believe that's about 25 quid. I got all of these consumables from my paint man. I normally get my stuff from. Someone's driving past. My UV primer, Sickins. I use Sickins. I can't remember how much this is. I believe, probably going to say it wrong, maybe 50 quid. I can't remember, 40, 50 quid. I will have to look that up, but I can't do it now. I've got a little 1 litre kit there of some MIPA 4:1 high build primer, just in case. In this little box, I've got some filler spreaders. I buy my filler spreaders off of eBay in a box of 100, always do that. They used to be a tenner, they're now like 15, 16 quid. Onion board at the back for mixing filler up on. I think that was about 6 quid, something like that. That was eBay again. I've got a big tub of hardener. I've got some little tube of Lechler 1K stopper there. Maybe a tenner, something like that. Can't quite remember off the top of my head. And I've got some basic white and black aerosol cans over there. I use them for puffing over the primer if you need to sort of colour up before you base it, so it just, you save on base coat. Makes life a little easier. Let me get to the other box over there. Right, this is my sanding box. So I use, and I have done for ages, the Merkur Auto Nets. I find them to be really good sandpapers, really good when you've got extraction. We're not posh this time around, we've not got extraction. So I've got a little cheap Air mini sander there, and basically I only bought 80, 180 and 320 grit on the little one, which is perfectly fine. For my big sandpapers, I've got some guide coat. I do 80, 180, 320, 4, 6, 8. That's what I do in the big 150mm sandpapers. And then I've got my strips, which I use for blocks. 80, 180, 324. This time round, we haven't got any posh blocks. I bought this little flexi block set off eBay. There's no Velcro on this. That was about 16, 17 quid just to get me going. These little flexi pads are pucker. They're kind of soft on one end and slightly harder the other way round. I believe that's 8 quid. And a little cheap knockoff kind of Merkur flatbed one, pass 25 quid maybe, something like that. eBay. I actually bought all of that on eBay. Guide coat was from my paint man, and I've got some wet and dryers down the side there, some 1500 and 2000 grit from my paint man. Can't remember the exact price of them, maybe 15 quid a sleeve, something like that. I've got a little 3M interface pad for the mini sander, and I've got a little sear, a pair of interface pads there for the 150mm sander. That's kind of all I need to get me going. Let me chuck this all back away and we'll move on to the next lot. Right, tucked in the side in now. My old Kirkland microfiber cloths, I think they're about 20 quid a bag now, something like that. I've got a dual heat gun, second hand. As you can see, it's had hardly any use. It's a big old sod as well. I won the bidding on that, and with the postage it worked out 31 quid. I could have bought a cheap Chinese type one, but my old one was a Bosch one and it lasted me donkey's years, and I thought, DeWalt's a decent brand, 31 quid is still cheap, so I bought it second hand, but as you can see it's had hardly any use and that should last years. That is actually a cordless hairdryer that I bought for 15 quid. I thought, oh, that's well handy, saves plugging it in, blow the base coat down with that. Now there is one problem, it only works cordless on cold. You put it on hot and it doesn't function. So I didn't really read the description properly, or whether it does only say that. I have bought a normal hairdryer. This one was very expensive. I paid £7.50 delivered for that. So that was a kind of, oh, I've never seen one, let's give it a go, it's cheap. But yeah, I've got a backup anyway, just in case. Let's chuck this back and move on to the next. Right, so tucked under here out of the way at the back, I bought another spotter. Now it's not no posh GYS one. I was looking through for all of them, and you could have got a cheaper one, a yellow one. Can't remember the model of what that was called. Now this was off of eBay, and the yellow one worked out 2.5 plus the postage, and I think that was from China. Now this one was from a UK company, UK stock. Now on their description they are showing you the differences between the yellow ones, which are, they're all probably from China, but they were saying like the Chinese version, blah blah blah, and they were explaining about the cabling, the quality differences in the cables and the processors and all the stuff in that, and the power lead being proper and earthed and can be pat tested. I believe there's a problem with the cheaper Chinese spotters where you can't, they won't pass electrical tests or something. So what I was led to believe reading on this is this one should be sweet, and this one worked out, I think it was like 310 quid delivered, and the reviews were pretty good and people say they're pretty good. So I can't honestly tell you until I start working with it and use it. It came with obviously the spotter, slide hammer attachment, another slide hammer, you can have hooks on it, and this suction cup, which I would never ever use, I don't think, and a little bag, or box, sorry. We've got a shrinking rod, we've got some wiggly wire, we have a hook for the slide hammer, this will be attachment for the wire, we've got some other attachments on here, I haven't gone through any of this, some weld-on washers, some keys. I haven't seen a bar, I'm presuming there'll be a bar underneath that you can use for pulling. They're the ends for the spotters. So for 300 quid, considering when I bought my GYS spotter, I bought mine with all the attachments and stuff, and I'm sure that was about 1500 quid. If this works and it does the job for 300 quid, I mean, how bad can it be? We shall find out in the future, but at least I have something to use. So yeah, and underneath there I've got brown paper roll and some plastic sheeting. Now I am going to put a little something across there to stop that sliding out. We are literally still tweaking and organising and sorting everything, and while I'm stood at the back there's my gazebo. That is Rock Awnings Hex 45 gazebo. I think 3 metre by 4.5 metre from memory. Yeah, that's slid in there, and the sides are in its case up here. When you unwrap these from the original bag, they never end up going back in its bag, so we will find a home where they're actually going to live. Let's get this put away and move on to the next lot. Right, the next section at the top there. This is a Pro XL plastic colour kit. I can't for the life of me remember what website I bought this from. I was hunting for the very best deal. They've gone up a bit. I believe I paid 110, and at the time that was the absolute cheapest I could find it. This is one of the kits for when you've got textured bumpers, and you can basically match the texture and the colour of the textured bumper. Very handy to have. Don't use them all the time, but it is a kind of worth buying the kit rather than the individual ones in case you don't have the right colour. Very handy to have on the van. Glad I had it last time, so definitely wanted to grab another one of them. So yeah, my next crate, masking. I use Q1 masking tape. Instead of 2-inch, I use 1.25 inch. I found that, well, 2 inches is more expensive and you get less rolls, but you can pretty much do everything with I think it's not 1.25 inch, 1.5 or 1.75 something like that, 1.5 maybe. You can do everything you need with that. The green one is more moisture resistant and the yellow one is not as moisture resistant. I literally chucked a few sleeves in and left the rest of the stuff at home. Got a bit of 1 inch and yeah, the 1.5 inch, I'm presuming, whatever that is. Bit of gaff tape, always useful. I've got J tape, window masking trim. When you've got to lift up the rubbers, bit of a pain, but yeah, you can slide that in. It's got a hard piece on it. The parking sensor discs from J tape. I didn't intentionally buy. You can buy other brands, but they just came up. I can't remember the prices of these. I will try and find out. Oh, I do remember the price of these though. I think they were 15 quid everywhere, and I actually found these on eBay on an auction, and I got them for £7.50. That was a bargain. That's my Flexi No Edge blending tape that I use. That's your regular foam tape that gets used. Let me see if I can grab the other crate. It's not a very heavy one. Kind of need to put my other sanding stuff together. So I've got massive boxes of these, but I've just peeled off a few. These are the soft back sanding sponges I use. That's Mercer Gold 600s and 800s. They're great for edges and stuff like that. So I've just peeled off 10 of each, slammed them in now. Grey and red Scotch, use them all the time. And I've got some Abralon discs, 2000 grit, 3000 grit for polishing sort of stuff. These are, they're like a Trizac version. They're like a soft foam back pad. 3M prep pads. They are a fortune. They've always been a fortune. 50 or 60 quid for one box. These I can't remember. I will look it up and try and add it somewhere. Maybe 20, 30 quid a box for these. These prep pads that I use for your blend area and stuff, well, you can see from it, these are like foam pads. That's what these other ones are like. These are pucker. I use them, and I kind of don't want to scrimp on things that I don't need to. Yeah, and then I've got a little Milwaukee bag. We'll grab that down and show you what's in there. So I'm bound to ask what's in them spray bottles. I didn't buy them. I still had them with my kind of cleaning stuff. So I keep one for window cleaner. I keep one for like a quick detailer, and I have another one which is normally full of tar and glue remover, and the last bottle is filled with water for wet flatting. Run out of tar and glue, I'll grab some more of that and we'll fill the other bottle up with water. Quick detailer, you don't need it, but when you finish the job and you want to give, say you've done a bumper corner, you want to give the whole bumper a wipe down with that, and it just leaves it looking nice. So yeah, thought I'd add that in. The little Milwaukee bag that was up there is here. I bought that, it's a second-hand bag. I'll give 20 quid for that off eBay. I needed a bag to put my super expensive Repairs knockoff polisher in. So this is basically my polishing kit. I had to buy some pads from Cartec. They were a fortune. These are now like nearly 15 quid each. Ridiculous, but it is what it is. They're good pads and I really liked using them. This one's been mullered on the van, but I got them. Green is for cutting, white is for refining, and black is for polishing. There's some black ones. And now, so I bought some Cartec polish and compound. My mate Vince gave me them. Thanks, Vince. His guy that polishes at his body shop, he didn't get on with them, so he gave me them. I got the small kit up from Cartec of their polishes, 9,000, and the final 12,000. I was unsure which brand I wanted to go with, so I decided to get small bottles, and I was going to test out some new products to see, you know, I'm kind of old school. I was on 3M and it's full of fillers and it was a pain, and then I've used G360, I've used Koch Chemie, I've used loads, and it's very difficult to find one that you're happy with. Cartec one I really like. I bought a new one. This is 3D ACA 510. Yeah, this is their cutting compound, so we're going to give this one a go. I don't know what it's like, see lots of people using it. And I also bought some CarPro Ultra Cut. Apparently this is their most aggressive cut. We'll give this a go, see what that's like. We already had one fail on the polisher. The backing pad that came with it is at 150mm exactly. Now when you're using 150mm pads, you don't want your backing plate or backing pad to be right on the edge, because when you tilt your polisher you could possibly catch the paint and ruin it. So I had to buy off my paint man another one. So this is a 3M backing pad, I'll say it's called, or backing plate. It's got a bit of give to it. That actually cost me 25 or 30 quid, I believe. It was a bit upsetting, but I tried polishing with the one that came with this machine. It was no good. So yeah, that had to be done. This is the polisher that I purchased from AliExpress. I think it cost 60 odd quid. It's a Repairs knockoff. Listen, it's okay. It gets very warm. Is there a brand? Oh, there is a brand. Hold on. That Shingoe, whatever that means. It does work. It will get us by. It's not the best quality. The bearings sound like they're absolutely knackered already. I don't know how long it will last me, but I didn't have a lot of choice. We had to do this within budget, and we had to stick to the plan and manage to get everything and get operational for the 10k budget. So this will polish, this will work for a little while. I'm not saying I will keep it forever, because that's highly unlikely, but if you are in a pinch and you ain't got a lot of money to spend, is it all right for 60 quid? I think it is. My genuine advice would be, if you could find a used polisher of better quality brand, I would go used first. that shows how much confidence I have in this. But I can't knock it. It is a polisher, it is working, doesn't sound the greatest. It's not too heavy, the handle's in a weird angle, it's awkward to use, but I am concerned about how hot it gets. Yeah, we'll pack this away and move on to the next. My old snap-on stool, I sold it to my mate Si. He never used it, and I said to him, can I buy it back? And he was like, oh, if you have to. I sold it to him 50 quid. I think they're about 120, 130 brand new. I bought it back off him for 50 quid, and I do use the little stool daily, so well worth getting back. Right, so far obviously this is just temporary. I think these will live here. This is my little PPS kit. I think these are the Gurkha ones. Loads of people make the, I think they are the 3M version 1 kit. They've moved on to a version 2. Their copyright must have ended or something, because loads of people now make this version. Fitted in there lovely. I can only fit one bag of lids, but I've got the other bag somewhere actually. Where did I put the bag? Pass. Anyway, that's in drawer number 1. Drawer number 2, so far I've just stuffed tack rags. They're like water-based type tack rags. They are sticky tack rags. Oh, I can't remember how much they are a box. 50 quid maybe? I'll have to double check. Sorry, I'm a bit unorganised because I was supposed to bring my laptop with me. I've got all wrote down all the prices, so when I finish the video I could be at home and confirm prices. I think they're about 50 quid for the kit needed. Tack rags, pass, maybe a tenner. Thought I had an absolute bargain on eBay, didn't read the quantity. I thought I bought a box of these and I got 5. And I think they were about 5 quid, something like that. I thought I had an absolute bargain, but I didn't. That was when you don't read properly. Thermometer for clear coat and stuff. This was from AliExpress, around the 6 quid mark, I believe. We'll confirm prices later on. What have we got in here? Okay, so in here, drills, grinder, etc. Probably won't dig it all out. My mate gave me this and the drill just to help me out. Thank you very much. I remember I bought them from, cheap as chips, just so I had something. I don't normally drill stuff. Brand new DeWalt grinder. Won that on eBay, believe for 40 quid. So I thought, okay, that'll do. Worth hunting on the auctions for that. I have a funny story. I bought some cheap plastic Chinese trim tool set, like these old ones here. I've got a couple to get me through. And I randomly received this, that was from AliExpress. I randomly received this battery powered angle grinder with 2 batteries and a charger and some little cutting discs, and I did not know where the hell this come from because I knew I did not order it. It turns out that instead of the trim tools I got sent that. I thought, well, I'll just buy some more trim tools for 11 quid then. They're about 30 odd quid from China. I thought, well, that'll do. I'll find a use for that at some point. What else have I got in here? Had to buy a toffee wheel for removing stickers and sticky stuff. Guessing they're about 8 quid. This was off my paint man. I have got all this wrote down, so we'll check. That is about it. That's spare battery, that's charger in there. Right, and down here, this is like a little pull-up bit. It's stiff, it folds down. Got another Milwaukee bag. Let me drag this out. Right, I bought this for a reason. I wanted something so I could take me sort of tools indoors. This has actually got wheels at the back of it, and it rolls pretty well. I think these were quite expensive, and I managed to win this on the auction for 25 quid, brand new. I'm sure these, from memory, you have to bear with me because it was a while ago, I think them bags were nearly 100 quid or around that mark, 80 quids or something. I won that on an auction for 25 quid, which I thought was a bargain. This is what we got tools and bits and bobs in, so let's get this open and show you what I bought. Right, first little set. This is from AliExpress. It's the little plastic rivet gun for plastic rivets for arch liners and stuff. Very handy. Came with a trim tool and a little pick set, and that's the little rivet gun now. AliExpress, believe that was sub 1500. 1500? Yeah, it's well cheap. Sub 15 quid delivered with the taxes and stuff. I will, at the end, like I said, we'll go over it on the computer and I'll tell you the exact prices. Yep, that was quite handy. Right, next one. This little bag was about 16, 17 quid. We'll confirm that later. I had exactly the same bag last time with my plastic welding equipment in. And that is exactly what this is for. I actually bought this little bag before I found the big bag and them other ones we'll get to in a minute. So when I was ordering all of my plastic welding equipment, I wanted somewhere to store it all. So we have actually bought an upgrade to the Wuhan plastic stapler. This one is a little beaut, tiny little thing. Tested it does work. Came with a UK plug, which is really good. Let's get it down here, it's very difficult. So this little set came with a pair of cutters to cut your staples off, a little craft knife which will probably snap in your hands first time you use it, and a few little baggies of staples. Now this, I believe I bought this off eBay, this kit. And it's going to bug the life out of me now. I know it was cheap. One second. £15.98 that little kit, which is an absolute bargain. And my old one was massive. It was like, I don't know, from the edge of this box to out here last time. It was so awkward to use. That is going to be well handy. Let's pack you this away and show you the rest. Yeah, as regards to this, I don't care about getting super expensive English version or whatever. I'm not paying hundreds of quid to melt plastic when that melts plastic, and if that lasts 6 months and then stops melting plastic for 16 quid, who gives a monkeys? You get another one. The other, what I call proper plastic welding kits, are hundreds, so not really fussed. A little case of gazillion staples to melt in. Can't remember, it was peanuts. We will update on that in a mo. I got at the back there, that is a 2-part glue gun, plastic glue. The little cartridges go in there, and you get a couple of nozzles that self-mixing. This cost me 30 quid with one thing of glue. I know that was off my paint man. I got a smoothing iron. This was off eBay, can't remember the price, something like 8 quid. We'll update the prices. I got a flat blade soldering iron, a powerful one. This is actually a CD one. This was from eBay. I will update the price. I got a kit of all the different plastics down here. They're all labelled ABS, etc., PPE. So I have the correct rods to melt in for the job that you do. When you take bumpers off, you can look underneath, there'll be a stamp marking letting you know what kind of plastic it is. So this whole plastic welding kit to get me going, I believe worked out just over 100 quid, and I can repair any type of plastic damage. When I get home we will go through the full cost. I've got it all broke down in categories. So yeah, that was pucker. Let's get that away and get the next out. Righto. Hammer and dolly set. In a little hard case. The actual dollies seem alright. They're not the worst I've ever seen. The hammers, they're actually alright. Are they going to be able to tap down a high spot and a dent in the panel? Yes, they are. Do they have to be snap-on? No, they don't. That whole kit delivered was about 30 quid. Not being funny, will it last me 10 years? I couldn't tell you. But will it do the job? Oh yes, it definitely will. So for that money, I don't care. It gets me going. Quite chuffed with that. That was the cheapest sort of kit that I could find that looked like it would work. I believe there was cheaper, but I even went as far as looking at reviews, and people were saying, do you know what, for the money, this is pucker, blah blah blah. So yeah, 30 quid with cut costs. Don't need posh snap-on ones. These will do lovely. Right, next bag. Don't ask me why it panned out this way. It didn't. I actually bought these before the big bag. I was looking for a little case, only because I think actually how it worked was, that's the very first one I bought, and I thought that was this size, because I believe I had this exact bag with my plastic welding equipment in, and that turned up, and I thought, this is smaller. But it turned out that all my plastic welding stuff fitted in that one. I thought, what a touch. And then I needed something for some tools to go into. So I bought that one, and that's worked out perfect. I ended up buying another one afterwards because that worked so well. So this is, I basically got two little bags, one in there we get out in a minute to go through, and one here. This is my tools that I would use every day. I still had that, so we can't count that. I had that little Faycom set off the Macman, that's pucker. I used to use that all the time for pulling bumper corners down. Wicked little set. So I didn't buy that. Now, this is the kind of stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis. I got some cheap Sealy spanners off my paint man. I think they were about tenner plus the VAT, 12 quid. Get us going. Right. I got this little set off eBay of some pliers and cutters. That worked out about 6 quid delivered. And I've used the cutters, they're pucker. The actual pliers are really good. I got one pair of these grips in here, and then I've got another pair in the other bag. I can't remember the prices, but they were peanuts. We'll update on them. This was eBay. These are VAG door tools. I already had them. I had my window knife and my other knife. Pack of blades I had indoors. This was a little draper set that I bought. I used it yesterday to do some nuts and bolts up on the racking, and the ratchets shit the bed already. The teeth seem to have gone. That was 18 quid off eBay. So I've actually messaged them. I don't care that it's broke, but I only used it once. So I've messaged them and said, look, I know it's cheap, but I expect the ratchet to actually work. So we'll see what they say. Mac Tools, that's a bit set. I already had that. This I bought just for the sake of it, because it's probably going to get used. Little socket set, cheap as hell, as you can tell. Am I missing? No, they've all fallen out. Can't remember, this was 20 quid or less for that little kit, and I just thought that's well handy. It will get used. We haven't got a budget, and we don't need big expensive ones. Pt5 tape, these I already had. That is a little snap-on ratchet for getting in tight areas. That's another little snap-on ratchet. Random 10mm ratchet spanner, another random 10mm spanner, and what we got, snap-on magnet. So that is my kind of hand tools that I'll use for bumper corners and odds and sods. Let's pack this away and get the next bag out. Right, this is the last one. So WD-40, not very good for a painter, but I was doing loads of bits on the van. I had a couple of these Sealy screwdriver sets indoors, so obviously we needed to use them. I bought a cheap set of mole grips. I think there's like 3 different sizes in there. There'll always be a time where you need some mole grips. Genuine hickory hammer. I had that indoors. I thought, oh, that'd be useful. I wanted a square hammer for around the back of arches and stuff, for panel beating stuff. I think that was about a tenner delivered from memory, so I had to buy that. Obviously I bought this case. I think this size case was about 20 quid. I still got my old panel splitting tool and a little crowbar thing. I had to buy some wire brushes because I didn't own any. I don't know, about £5, something like that. We will confirm later. There's another mole grip, some random old pliers and mini pliers, and another set of them grips. I think they worked out about £5 each or something like that. So yeah, this is kind of stuff you need, but not in your like daily sort of tool bag as such. You will use it at some point, but it's that kind of stuff that you need to have. So that bag stays at the bottom, and then I'll run and use the other bag most of the time. Let's get this packed away. Right, been fiddling with my guns because I couldn't sort of strap them down anywhere. I've come up with magneting them on this, one little bungee across them, so they're all sort of stable. They might live there, not 100% sure. Did not make this for that trolley to fit in there, or that stall, but it fits perfectly, and it's got a little hook on the front of the cabinet there. So I've just pulled it around there, and you can just unloop it, slide it out. That stops that sliding about, which is pretty good. Airline's got a home, this has got a home. I'm going to put drill the other one on later, and I'm going to put some brackets to fix this. This is pretty solid, it's sort of wedged under that metal. I'm going to put some little brackets in there to hold that lot. And for the time being, I've just put a bungee across there to stop the sheeting and paper roll sliding out of there. I would like to sort something out there. I'm going to move this racking up, put all that lot on the top down so I can access that easier, and then the top one I can just have sort of random stuff put up there, more than likely. But what do you reckon, guys? Absolutely on a budget. Obviously you've all seen the van if you watch the other videos. I'm pretty chuffed. I didn't think it was achievable with that budget, and the amount of kit I got, I'm well impressed. Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm well chuffed with that lot. I'll speak to you in a mo. We'll actually go through prices on the computer, but yeah, that is the kit. Very basic, but we've got plenty. I think that's going to be fine. More than enough there to get work done. Some guys use less than what I use, some guys use a hell of a lot more, so yeah, I'm well happy. I wanted to keep me extra poles for the heat lamps. Let me show you that quickly. So I've only got 2 on the heat lamps, but when you've got a higher vehicle, these are the spare poles that you get, so you can make it higher. I've got 2 loose cable ties around them, and obviously where I've bungeed anyway, it's keeping it fixed, so I can lift this up, slide this out. They unscrew, there's 2 together, so I can use them. I'm sure there'll be lots of niggles to work out along the way, but yeah, well happy. Someone pointed out about the door shuts in the other video. I've never cleaned them. I will give them a clean, don't worry, they're filth. So yeah, I'll see you when we've got the computer. Right, I've just been editing the video and I've seen how long it is. I can't make it no shorter. I was going to go through this list and every individual item and price. It's going to take too long. I'm going to just show you on the screen, kind of read out a few bits. If you want to know exact prices of everything, then yeah, just give me a message or whatever, comment, and I'll let you know. But it's gonna take a long time to go through this lot. I'll show you the list. I didn't realise there was that much. There's a lot on the list. Hold on. So as you can see, well, you can screenshot this or whatever. I'll start at the top under air. You can sort of see there, and then I've got sanding. This is all the sort of stuff that I've got there. I'm sure the list is up to date. Masking. Oh, I've got the J-tape parking sensor discs wrong there. £7.55. MV Supplies is my paint man, like where I get my local to me, where I pick up my stuff. Electrics. So we got the mains hookup. LED lights. I've actually been sent some LED lights for free to do a review on. I don't know how I'm going to review LED lights, but they will be getting fitted in the van. I have bought some, but they look better in the pictures than they do when they've turned up. I did miss out the 10-metre extension lead. That's tucked underneath. That's what I run out of the van to whatever vehicle I'm working on. 30-metre lead. Right, I got the prices wrong. So that was £58.50, and I believe that was actually quite cheap. The 10-metre lead was £17.95, which was a bargain. On the painting category, the DeVilbiss Pro lights was £68.26 for both of them. The Iwaters were £58.86. So what actually happens is when you buy off of AliExpress, they charge you tax on top and then shipping. So yeah, the prices are slightly different. I was about right on the flight case. That's £38.49. Paint scheme £4.50 with a postage. Yeah, that's correct. Scales, I didn't show you the scales. I've got some little cheap scales, £22.50. Speed blender £25.84. I thought that was 20. PPS 180mm kit £45.67, so that's not terrible. Half mask, the Snide 3M was £9.89, so that's not too bad. UV lamp off Gary was £200. The primer was £59.64. I was close. And I bought a pair of new batteries for it as well. Heat lamps, I was right, nearly 1.5 each, so £2.99. Hair dryer £16.90. Mains air dryer £7.49. Heat gun worked out £31.25. The laser thermometer £5.59. Plastic welding, hot stapler £18.04. Soldering iron, smoothing iron, staples, plastic adhesive and gun £30. I was right. Spotter, so right, the spotter was £3.49 delivered. I thought it was 300, but yeah, £3.49. So I've bought so much over so many different weeks and what have you. Grinder, the walt grinder was £44.99 with a postage. So yeah, obviously I had to pay postage. £34.99 for hammer and dolly set. That was actually £30 for that magnetic clamp. £29.70. £12.95 for the machinist hammer. Tools, I got a dust nib pick, £26. I didn't show that. A couple of little mini socket sets, tool case, tool bag. So the bag was £25.99. Yeah, I knew it was 25 quid-ish. Rivet kit, £22. Trim clip kit. Magnetic sheet, the sheet magnets, £35.23. So there wasn't 25 quid. Got that wrong. I got a bumper stand that's not in the van. Spanner set, I was right, £12. Tool case, adjustable grips, £9.42, so about 5 each. Mole grips worked out £13.25 for 4 of them. Pliers, £16.30. Oh, okay. I thought they were cheaper. A razor wheel. So the rotary, with the tax and delivery, £78 that was, so it wasn't 65. Okay, so I'm going off the prices, and then it's plus tax and delivery. Compounds, mop heads, backing pad, cutting compound, I don't know why it wrote the price there, 35 quid, consumables, filler spreaders, 16 quid. I'll let you, I'm not going to read all of this, I'll let you guys screenshot. Just going to slowly scroll up, and stuff, padlock and asps, wing mirrors, went over that. Probably got to update a couple more little bits on this. But yeah, that is it. So as you can see, it's been an absolute mission, but I've managed to hunt it all down. I'm quite chuffed, to be honest. I didn't think it was achievable for that price. It turns out that I've done it, and we're pretty much there. I'm going to do some last finishing touches tomorrow. Go and see my mate if he's at his workshop, and see if we can nick some scraps of wood and knock a little something up for inside of the van. Screw a few more things in, then pretty much close. So hopefully the next sort of videos you get are of me actually doing something and working from the van. Yeah, sorry this is such a long one, but I did say to you guys we're going to go over everything, and we have. If you've stayed to the very end, congratulations. Yeah, I think if you've got any questions, leave us a comment, let me know. All of my new social media contact details are in the description, my little link tree thing. That's about it. So yeah, yeah, cheers for hanging in there. Been a long one. As always, a massive thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon on the next one. Stay safe and be lucky.